High above the Indian Ocean, disaster strikes.
It's on fire!
More than 10 kilometers up in the air, British Airways की एक फ्लाइट के चारों इंजन ही काम कर देना बंद कर देते हैं. In this British Airways 747 jet.
Roger, declare emergency.
Mayday, 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 speedbird.
इंजन के बिना और बहुत थोड़ी सी पावर के साथ ब्रिटिश एयरवेज की ये फ्लाइट समुद्र की तरफ गिरने लगती है. The crew fight to save their plane from falling into the sea. What has crippled their massive jet and threatening the lives of everyone on board that plane. नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट बामरी, लेकर के आया एक नया एपिसोड आपके फेवरेट शो दुर्घटनाएं डिजास्टर्स का. ये शो जो आप हर हफ्ते सुनते हैं आपके फेवरेट इंटरनेट रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो उड़ान पे, जो कि है अ फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ. और इस शो में हर हफ्ते हम चर्चा करते हैं इस धरती पे घटित अलग अलग समय में अलग अलग दुर्घटनाएं डिजास्टर्स की. और आज के शो में हम चर्चा करेंगे 24 जून 1982 की एक घटना, 24 जून 1982. 24 जून 1982 ब्रिटिश एयरवेज की एक फ्लाइट BA9 क्रूजेस थ्रू द स्काई ओवर इंडोनेशिया. कुछ ही घंटों के बाद 263 जो लोग इस प्लेन में सवार हैं, they will touch down at the airport in Perth, Western Australia. फिलिस वेल्च और उनकी बेटी एकदम प्लेन के पिछले भाग में बैठे हुए हैं, in cabin E.
How's that heroine of yours, Fanny Price, faring?
Oh, she's having a tough old time at Mansfield Park. It's a good place for me to spend a few hours.
Wouldn't mind being there myself.
It's all right, Mum, we'll get there.
We had already traversed at least 2 time zones. We were very tired. We had flown through Bombay, through Kuala Lumpur, hadn't been able to get much sleep, if any, and it was a dark, pitch black night.
बेटी और फिलिस के आगे बैठे हुए थे चार्ल्स केवर्ड, जो कि अपने घर पर्थ ऑस्ट्रेलिया जा रहे थे, और उनके साथ थे उनके 2 बेटे शैज और स्टीवन.
Right, settle down, lads. Come on. Time for a nap. Get back to your seat.
No.
What, do you want to sleep here? All right.
It was a good flight. It was going well. Leaving London, it was great. And we was all eager to go home, and the 2 boys were eager to get back to Mum. I thought, well, we'll be home in 3 hours, Perth. They'll be Pat and we'll get in a taxi and we'll be home.
क्योंकि इस प्लेन पे सवार कितने ही लोग ऐसे थे जो पिछले एक दिन से ट्रैवल कर रहे थे, लेकिन जो क्रू था वो फ्रेश था एकदम. उन्होंने इस प्लेन पे तभी सवार हुए थे जब प्लेन आखिरी बार लेग पे रुका था कोलालमपुर में. कैप्टन एरिक मूडी जो थे 16 साल की उम्र से ही उड़ा रहे थे जब उन्होंने ग्लाइडर की ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस ली थी, और वो उन पायलट में से अग्रणी थे जो कि 747 में जिन्होंने ट्रेनिंग ली थी 747 उड़ाने की.
Roger, check with Jakarta.
Jakarta Control, Speedbird 9 over Halim at level 370.
Speedbird 9, Roger.
First Officer Roger Greaves has been a co-pilot for the past 6 years. Barry Freeman जो थे वो इस फ्लाइट में फ्लाइट इंजीनियर थे.
I'd not flown with Eric before, or Barry. That was the first time we'd actually met on that flight.
और जबकि ये प्लेन जकार्ता के ऊपर उड़ रहा है, वो उसकी ऊंचाई है तकरीबन 11,000 मीटर के करीब, और वो पिछले 1.5 घंटे से हवा में उड़ रहा है. कैप्टन मूडी जो है अपनी वेदर रिपोर्ट्स देखते हैं और उनको पता लगता है इट इज स्मूथ सेलिंग फॉर द नेक्स्ट 500 किलोमीटर्स. पीछे केबिन में मेनी ऑफ द पैसेंजर्स हैव फॉलन अस्लीप चार्ल्स केपवेल और उनके दोनों बेटे अभी सो रहे हैं, लेकिन उनके सर के ऊपर एक ominous haze बनती जा रही है। 1982 में it is still not illegal to smoke on passenger jets, और लेकिन जो केबिन क्रू है उनके लिए ये धुआं जो है जरूरत से ज्यादा वो लग रहा है उन्हें कि जरूरत से ज्यादा धुआं है।
Seems to be a lot of smoke out there.
And they begin to worry that a small fire would be smoldering inside the plane somewhere.
Maybe someone lit up in the toilet. Let's go see if we can find it.
11,000 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे जो आग अगर हो तो इट इज अ टेरिबल प्रोस्पेक्ट, और अगर कहीं आग लग रही है तो क्रू को जो है जल्दी से जल्दी उसको ढूंढना है। In the cockpit, the flight takes an unsettling turn.
Barry and I were just sitting there minding the shop. Pitch dark night, of course, and then we started to get these pinpricks of light on the windscreen.
Seen Elmo's fire?
I don't think so.
St. Elmo's fire is a natural phenomena, and it is sometimes seen when the plane is through highly charged thunderstorms.
Anything on the radar?
No. No, it's clear. I don't like the look of this. Let's get a better look out there.
लेकिन बाहर तो मौसम एकदम साफ है और कोई भी थंडर क्लाउड्स होने का कोई अंदेशा नहीं था, और वो लैंडिंग लाइट्स ऑन करते हैं और उसकी मदद से ये पता लगाते हैं दोनों आदमी, ये उन्हें पता लगता है कि a thin veil of cloud is surrounding their aircraft, और जबकि उनको रेडार में कुछ भी इस प्रकार का नहीं दिखा रहा है।
But at 37,000 feet, the normal thing you would anticipate would be high cirrus, which is just a thin layer of cloud.
I think we better get the captain back up here.
I was reading in my book, and there was a slight flick of turbulence, just a slight flick, and I glanced over to the left, where I had a clear view of the port wing, and to my surprise, it was covered in a brilliant white shimmering light, which seemed to be clinging to the wing of the aircraft. I carried on reading, but I found that I kept reading the same paragraph over and over again and not taking in a word of it. I just didn't know what was happening.
केबिन के अंदर धुआं जो था वो बढ़ता जा रहा था। स्टुअर्ड्स जो थे उनको ये पता नहीं लग रहा था कि ये धुआं कहाँ से आ रहा है, और अगर आग लगी है कहीं तो वो भी उसको ढूंढ नहीं पा रहे थे।
All right, well, go see that the passengers are comfortable.
Smell anything odd, Mum?
Seems rather smoky in here.
I noticed that thick smoke was pouring into the cabin through the vents above the windows. And that was a very sobering sight.
Turkish cigarettes.
It smelt like sort of a sulfuric electrical smell. And I went on that flight deck expecting to hear that we had some electrical smoke somewhere on the aircraft. But nothing was further from the truth.
When did it start? Or just after you stepped out? Anything on radar?
No, it's clear, not a cloud. Oh my lord, look at engine 4! It's lit up somehow. Captain, have a look at number 1.
It's the same on my side.
किसी भी क्रू ने ऐसा जो हो रहा था कभी भी नहीं देखा था, and the light show is just the beginning. Their bizarre flight is just about to take a terrifying turn for the worst. strange lights are striking the windshield of a British Airways Flight 9 which is going on its way to Perth, Australia. और उसी क्षण जो प्लेन के इंजन्स होते हैं, they are hit by a white glow.
Look at engine 4. It's lit up somehow.
This light show, if you like, had become more intense. In fact, we ended up sitting there with 2 sheets of brilliant white light in front of us in place of the windscreens.
Inside the cabin, जो धुआं है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है. Chief Steward Graham Skinner is on the quiet but intensive search for the fire.
What's with all the smoke?
There was smoke in the cabin. It got really, really hot. You were perspiring, literally drenched in perspiration. The acrid smoke was at the back of your throat, up your nose, in your eyes, and you were rubbing this, and your eyes were running, and it was not a very nice situation at all.
जो फ्लाइट इंजीनियर बैरी फ्रीमैन है वो इतनी देर से अपने सारे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को चेक कर रहे हैं. उनको धुआं तो लग रहा है, लेकिन उनको कोई इंडिकेशन नहीं मिल रहा है कि प्लेन के किसी भी सिस्टम में आग लगी हुई है.
Can't find anything.
With one mystery confronting them, they are suddenly faced with a new mystery which just comes up. जबकि इंजन से बड़ी-बड़ी लपटें निकल रही थी, one of the engine just revs up and flames out.
Dad, the engine's on fire!
The whole of the wing was a sheet of light, and I thought, wow. I said, oh, you better close that because we don't know what's that.
Cheers. Sit down. Stephen, close that wine.
Then I realised that, something was dramatically wrong.
There were huge flames coming out of the back of the engines. 20, some people said 40 feet long. These huge jets of sheer flame shooting out of the back of all the engines. Is it going to penetrate from the outside of the aircraft? Is it going to come into the cabin? Are we going to burn to death? Are we going to choke to death on the smoke? What's going to happen? What's causing it? What are they going to do about it?
As fire engulfs the engines, one of them revs loudly and flames out.
Engine failure. Number 4.
Fire action, number 4.
Checklist powering gear.
Set.
Thrust lever.
Closed.
Start lever.
Off.
Once one engine fails, you call for the drill to shut that one down. You have drills for certain things so that you don't fly together as a crew forever. You can fly with different people then, and you can standardise the operations.
अभी भी कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं बता रहा है कि आग लगी पड़ी है, लेकिन जो पैसेंजर हैं वो देख पा रहे हैं कि इंजन्स में आग लग गई है.
I could not see the engines from where I was sitting. I could only see the space behind them. But there was enough glow in that space to convince me that the aircraft was really seriously on fire.
We were in trouble. They knew, as long as they were, they knew we were in bad trouble. And they sort of just looked at me as if to say, well, what are we doing now, Dad?
If anything's going to happen, I want to be close to you. Oh, please.
जो केबिन क्रू है वो it begins to store anything which is loose. They don't want actually कि dishes और कुछ और चीज इधर उधर गिरती रहें जबकि प्लेन अगर डाइव लेता है तो.
Don't worry, it's just friction.
If if I was misleading them, then that was for a reason, because I didn't want to get as upset as I felt. I just couldn't believe it. And, you know, and this is going through my mind, and yet I'm chatting to the passengers and chatting to the crew, saying, oh, yeah, nothing to worry about. Yeah, it's just a little hiccup, you know.
ब्रिटिश एयरवेज की ये फ्लाइट BA9 जो है उस समय तकरीबन 10,000 मीटर की ऊंचाई पर उड़ रही थी। उसके इंजन ऐसे लग रहे हैं जैसे कि आग जल के लग रही हो उनमें, और एक बेहद ही पेक्यूलियर तरह का धुआं जो है वो केबिन में भरता जा रहा है, और उसके बाद वो होता है जिसका किसी ने सोचा भी नहीं था।
Number 2 engines gone. All right then, begin the engine shutdown.
No, wait! We've all gone. All 4 engines have failed.
The other 3 just went out almost immediately, and that's when it begins to be a serious emergency.
Those engines made a grating, rumbling sound, almost like a cement mixer. And then, gradually, the noise just disappeared and they became silent.
A minute and a half, we've gone from 4 engines running normally to having none.
इस 747 जहाज में काफी मात्रा में फ्यूल है, लेकिन किसी तरह चारों के चारों इंजन ने ही काम करना बंद कर दिया है।
Roger, declare emergency.
Mayday, 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 Speedbird 9. We have lost all 4 engines out of 370. Mayday, 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 Speedbird 9. We have lost all 4 engines.
इन लोगों के पास अब कोई इंजन पावर नहीं थी, और ना ही इनको पता था कि उनके प्लेन के साथ क्या हुआ है। तो इस स्थिति में जो प्लेन है वो नीचे जमीन की तरफ गिरने लगता है आसमान से।
Jakarta Control, Speedbird 9, we have lost all 4 engines, now out of 360.
First officer Roger Greaves sends his message, but उनको भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है in transmitting this message.
Jakarta Control, Speedbird 9, we have lost all 4 engines, repeat, all 4 engines, now descending through flight level 350.
Speedbird 9, you have lost number 4 engine?
This idiot doesn't understand. Jakarta Control, Speedbird 9, we have lost all 4 engines. Repeat, all 4 engines. Now descending through flight level 350.
The air traffic control at Jakarta, unfortunately, seemed to have a slight problem in understanding what we actually were saying.
Now descending through flight level 350.
Speedbird 9, all 4 engines out. Understood?
क्रू को इस बात कभी पता था कि आज से पहले 747 जेट ने कभी भी ऐसा मौका नहीं दिखाया था जबकि चारों के चारों इंजन ने एक साथ काम कर देना बंद कर दिया हो, और क्रू को अब जल्दी ही ये पता लगाना है कि ये किस कारणवश से हुआ था।
I think we've cocked something up.
We were concerned and worried that we'd done something wrong, you know, to cause the whole thing.
All 3 of us felt exactly the same, and it was a personal guilt in the sense of, what have I missed? What have I done wrong? You know, because this kind of thing doesn't happen.
चूंकि ये जहाज 747 ग्लाइडिंग के लिए नहीं बना है, लेकिन फिर भी विदाउट इंजन पावर इट कैन ट्रेवल 15 किलोमीटर आगे फॉर एवरी किलोमीटर इट ड्रॉप इन हाइट। With no power, the flight 9 has started a long, slow fall. तकरीबन 10 किलोमीटर दूर ऊपर हवा में क्रू के पास सिर्फ तकरीबन आधे घंटे का टाइम है, उसके बाद वो क्रैश हो जाएंगे समुद्र के अंदर।
When they all stop, you go into automatic mode. Obviously, we had practiced this drill on the simulator many times, and that's very good. And all very well, as long as when it happens to you for real, what happens on the aeroplane is mirrored by what happens to you in the simulator. And I'm afraid that wasn't so.
स्टिमुलेटर के अंदर जब चारों इंजन काम कर देना बंद कर देते हैं तो ऑटो पायलट जो है अपने आप ऑफ हो जाता है, लेकिन इस सिचुएशन में कैप्टन मूडी जो है वो देखते हैं कि उनका ऑटो पायलट अभी भी ऑन पोजीशन पे है.
We were all three confused and concerned that what was happening to us wasn't what we'd been told would happen to us.
All right, begin restart drill.
और इन क्षणों में उनके पास सोचने का टाइम ही नहीं है कि क्यों उनका ऑटो पायलट अभी भी ऑन है.
On. Anything? Anything?
No.
Again. All right then, from the top, battery.
Check. On.
Crossfeed valves.
Open.
Fire switch.
In.
जो स्टैंडर्ड रीस्टार्ट ड्रिल होती है वो तकरीबन 3 मिनट का समय लेती है पूरा होने में. और अब गिरते हुए आसमान से क्रू के पास 10 से भी कम चांसेस हैं जिससे कि और इन्हीं चांसेस में उनको अपना इंजन फिर से रिस्टार्ट करना है, नहीं तो वो इस समुद्र में क्रैश हो जाएंगे.
Come on.
Again, gentlemen.
All right, from the top, battery.
Check. On.
Crossfeed valves.
Open.
Fire switch.
In.
तकरीबन 10,000 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे उड़ते हुए कैप्टन एरिक मूडी जो है ये सोचते हैं कि जो सबसे नजदीकी एयरपोर्ट है हलीम, जो कि जगार्टा के करीब है, वहां पे उतारा जाए. लेकिन वो एयरपोर्ट भी उनको इतना दूर देख रहा है क्योंकि उनके पास बिल्कुल भी इंजन पावर नहीं है.
Jakarta, Speedbird 9, turning left back to Halim, out of 300.
Speedbird 9, radar cannot see you. Squawk Alpha 7700.
जकार्टा की ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर उनको बोलते हैं टू ट्रांसमिट द इमरजेंसी ट्रांसपोंडर.
Jakarta, Speedbird 9, we are already squawking 7700.
और अब प्लेन जो है वापस उस एयरपोर्ट की तरफ चल पड़ा है जहाँ के भी कंट्रोल जो है इनको रेडार में ढूंढ नहीं पा रहे हैं. Without the constant rumbling of the engines, the cockpit is very quiet. पीछे केबिन में पैसेंजर्स को भी लग जाता है कि वो डिसेंट कर रहे हैं. And they can only guess without any communication from the cockpit.
The quietness was unbelievable because it was sort of, the aeroplane was no engines, nothing, and it seemed to be eerie, you know, a bit surreal really, because like as if you was suspended in space or something. And all I could feel was this quietness and the whimpering from a few people that were really upset.
Some people were sitting quite rigidly, almost as if they hadn't noticed anything. At first it was sheer fear, and then after a while it turns to acceptance. You know you're going to die. We knew we were going to die.
What's going on? What's the problem?
It's just a technical fault. I've been through much worse, let me tell you. Everything will be fine.
I think if I'd have sat down and really thought of exactly what was happening, I don't think I would have ever got up again.
One steward came up to us and said, "Are you two ladies all right?" And yes, we said we're fine, which was an absolute lie, but that's how it was. It seemed absolutely vital not to panic.
कैप्टन एरिक मूडी अपने इंजन्स को फिर से रीस्टार्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं and he has to fly his plane between 250 and 270 knots. एयर स्पीड इंडिकेटर्स भी काम नहीं कर रहे हैं इस सिचुएशन में. तो
Captain, I've got 320 knots on my side.
Well, I've got 270.
Bloody hell, that's a 50-knot difference.
I'll change the speed.
Falling from the sky with no engine power, क्रू को अब ये भी नहीं पता लग पा रहा है कि वो कितनी तेजी से चल रहे हैं. और कैप्टन मूडी जो है अगर प्लेन को अपनी राइट स्पीड पे उड़ाते हैं तभी उनके पास कोई चांस है कि वो अपने इंजन्स को रीस्टार्ट कर पाए.
So from that point onwards, Eric then varied the speed through just about 100-knot range, hoping that at some point or other, coincidental with us putting the fuel into the engines, that we would actually be at the right speed.
To change the speeds of the plane, Captain Eric Moody turns off the autopilot. and then he slowly pushes the nose of the plane up to decrease speed and then down to increase speed. जो पैनिक ऑलरेडी केबिन में फैला हुआ था, उसको ये बढ़ावा देता है ये रोलर कोस्टर मूवमेंट.
At one time, the aircraft developed a strange motion. It seemed to be climbing steeply and then diving down. That was the sensation we got. And a bucking action that was so violent that we felt it could break the aircraft up in the air.
Pressure warning, Captain. We're at 10,000. Pressure warning? That's not supposed to do that.
And a warning horn went off. Now, this didn't ever happen on the simulator in this exercise, so it was a bit of a surprise to us.
Apart from giving electrical power, the engines on a jumbo jet also helps keep the cabin pressurized.
With the engines not working, of course, the air wasn't being pumped in. So gradually the pressure was leaking away.
With all engines gone, the pressurized air is also slowly but surely seeping out. Oxygen की जो कमी हो रही है cabin में, it is making the passengers gasp. The crew reach for their oxygen masks. First officer grieves अपने mask को काम नहीं कर पाते हैं.
My oxygen mask, yeah, that was a problem I could have done without. It was stowed above my head, and when I pulled the oxygen mask down, the mask and the tube became separated.
कैप्टन मूडी को अब एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट डिसीजन लेना है. अगर वो स्लोली डिसेंड करते हैं तो जो उनके को पायलट हैं उनको थोड़ी मुश्किलात पेश आ सकती है इन सांस लेने में.
I said, look, if we get down to 20,000 feet quickly, we can all take our oxygen masks off and we can talk and we're back as a crew again.
We had to actually increase the rate of descent to descend to a lower altitude quicker, which in the circumstances was something that we wouldn't really have chosen to do.
So then I dived the aeroplane and got rid of about 6,000 feet in a minute.
The loss of the cabin pressure and the steep dive एक और उनके लिए मुसीबत लेके आती है.
The things shot down, they sort of dangled down in front of you. And I looked to see Stephen had got his and Chaz had pulled his out of the socket. So I made sure that Chaz got his oxygen. I've seen a few movies on planes, and you know, once that happens, you know you're in serious trouble.
Here we go. Breathe normally, Mum, not deep. Breathe.
The oxygen masks came down, and we put those to our faces as had been described in the drill, which fortunately we had been observing at the beginning of the flight. But it seemed that the oxygen supply was not working.
जो केबिन क्रू है वो पब्लिक एड्रेस सिस्टम का इस्तेमाल करने की कोशिश करते हैं जिससे कि पैसेंजर्स को बताया जा सके कि क्या हो रहा है, लेकिन वो भी काम नहीं कर रहा है.
Can you hear me? We're having a small problem with the public address system. So if you would, place your masks over your mouth and nose and breathe normally.
Chief Steward Graham Skinner now goes on up a low-tech backup. और जबकि पैसेंजर स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं मास्क लगाने की, कैप्टन एरिक मूडी is running out of options. और अगर उनके इंजन फिर से रीस्टार्ट नहीं होते तो उनको प्लेन को फिर टर्न अराउंड लेके ओपन ओशन में ही उतारना होगा अपना जहाज. हाई अबव द इंडियन ओशन एक ऐसी घटना घटित हो जाती है जिसका किसी ने सोचा भी नहीं था. ब्रिटिश एयरवेज की फ्लाइट BA9 के चारों इंजन काम करना बंद कर देते हैं और क्रू को बिल्कुल भी इस बात का पता नहीं है कि किस कारण से ये हुआ था.
All right, Barry, let's start the restart drill. Ready? Set. Battery. Check. On. Standby power. On. Anything? Come on, anything. No. All right, then, let's do it from the top. Battery. Check. On.
फर्स्ट ऑफिसर रॉजर ग्रीव्स अपने ऑक्सीजन मास्क को तो ठीक कर लेते हैं, लेकिन वो दूसरी तरफ फ्रस्ट्रेटेड भी हैं इन इंजन्स की वजह से जो कि रीस्टार्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफिसर रॉजर ग्रीव्स और फ्लाइट इंजीनियर बैरी फ्रीमैन ने जो चेकलिस्ट है उसको काफी छोटा कर दिया है, जिससे कि उनको और ज्यादा चांसेस मिल सके इंजन्स को फिर से रीस्टार्ट करने के लिए, लेकिन अभी तक कुछ भी काम नहीं कर रहा है।
Come on, you old sod.
The process that we were going through the whole time was just continuous. We hadn't had any success with the drill at all, despite all the efforts we were putting in. But it was the only thing we had left to cling on to, so that's what we did.
From the top again. Battery, check on.
I have no idea, and I don't think any of us have, how many times we tried to restart those engines. If I say 20, I would think that's too low. If I say 50, I would think that's probably about right.
प्लेन धीरे धीरे नीचाई की तरफ आता जा रहा है और कैप्टन एरिक मूडी के पास एक और डिसीजन लेने की बारी आ गई है। उन्हें ये भी पता है कि पहाड़ी इलाका है जो कि उनके प्लेन और एयरपोर्ट के बीच में है, और ये भी उनको पता है कि उनको तकरीबन 3500 मीटर की ऊंचाई पर उड़ना पड़ेगा, जिससे कि वो इस पहाड़ी इलाके को पार कर पाए। और अगर उनके इंजन फिर से रीस्टार्ट नहीं होते जल्दी से, they won't be able to make it. जिस रफ्तार से सब कुछ चल रहा है, they will crash in a couple of minutes. कैप्टन मूडी ये भी सोचते हैं कि अगर उनका प्लेन जल्दी से रीस्टार्ट नहीं होता तो वो प्लेन को फिर से टर्न अराउंड करेंगे and he will try to land his plane on the open ocean.
All right, are we getting something?
It's not starting.
I knew it was so difficult to land aeroplanes on the sea, even when you had everything going for you. And I thought that, well, we haven't got much going for us here. I'd never done it before.
Hiding his concern, Captain Moody जो है वही addresses the passengers as well as the crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. All 4 engines have stopped. We're doing our damnedest to get it under control. I trust you are not in too much distress.
Most of the passengers expect the worst.
Ma, in trouble. Plane going down.
We'll do best for the boys. We love you. Sorry, Pa. I thought we were going down, heading for the ocean, which crash. And I thought if she got the note, you know, she knew we were still thinking about it. And we did whatever we could.
Will we be burnt alive? Will we be choked by the smoke? Will the aircraft break up in the air and hurtle us out into space, which was my biggest fear? Or will we come down in the sea and be eaten by sharks alive? Or will we crash into a mountain? Let's crash into a mountain quickly and get all this over.
Well?
Nothing. It's not starting.
All right, from the top then. Battery, check.
On.
Standby power.
On.
Finally, जो डिसीजन कैप्टन मूडी को लेना है वो लेना है जल्दी। या तो वो कुछ ना करें और सीधा इन पहाड़ी इलाकों में क्रैश हो जाए, या वो प्लेन को वापस घुमाएं और ओशन के ऊपर डिच करें इस प्लेन को।
I don't know how to swim.
I couldn't swim anyway, so I thought, well, you know, I'm doomed anyway. And I just hoped that maybe one of the passengers might help the 2 boys to make sure that they could stay afloat.
Well, anything? No. All right then, from the top again. Battery.
We had very few chances left of starting the engines before having to turn out to sea again, because we wouldn't have been able to clear the mountains on the south coast of Java.
Start
level. Cut off.
Fuel pressure.
Available.
Standby ignition on.
इतनी कोशिशों के बाद कुछ अच्छी खबर मिलती है इन क्रू को। जैसे ही अकस्मात होके अचानक बंद हो गए थे चारों इंजन, वैसे ही अब अपने आप ही चौथा इंजन जो है स्टार्ट हो जाता है।
Engine 4 back online.
Then all of a sudden there was this sort of like somebody giving the aeroplane a punch from underneath, and then I realised that it might have been an engine. It was boom.
Oh my God, no!
The noise that a Rolls-Royce engine makes when it starts up is low rumbling noise, you know, and it was just, well, it was wonderful to hear it.
जो 747 जहाज होता है दोस्तों, it can fly with one engine, लेकिन कैप्टन एरिक मूडी को ये भी पता है कि वो इंजन इतनी पावर नहीं दे पाएगा जिससे कि वो ये पहाड़ी इलाका क्लियर कर पाए।
The glass now is half full, it's not half empty. We're now in with a real chance. And I tell you what, the three of us would have dragged that aeroplane around the whole island of Java.
और जैसे ही प्लेन जो है 4000 मीटर की ऊंचाई तक पहुंचता है, तो अपने आप ही दूसरा इंजन भी कफ करके लाइफ में आ जाता है।
Engine 3 back online.
और थोड़ी देर के बाद ही बाकी जो दो इंजन है वो भी स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं।
Do you believe it? Engines 1 and 2 both back online.
और ये जहाज जो कि कुछ क्षण पहले एकदम ही बहुत ही दुखद स्थिति में था, वो एकदम ही सुखद अनुभूति होती है सबको जो लोग इस जहाज पे सवार थे उनको।
I realised then that we could make it back to, not to Perth, but to an airport. That's all we wanted, was to land on the earth and you know, be part of the living again. Because while we were up there, we were dead.
Jakarta, Speedbird 9, we are back in business. All four running. Oh.
और अब की बार जो लोकल एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल है उसको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती समझने में इस मैसेज को।
All four engines serviceable again. Confirm continuing to Hali.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
We say, right, let's get this thing on the ground as quickly as we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We seem to have overcome that problem and have managed to start all the engines. We are diverting to Jakarta and expect to land in about 15 minutes.
Captain Moody begins to climb and putting as much distance as between his plane and the mountain range. और जबकि वो ऐसा करते हैं, जो strange lights थी, अजीब सी रोशनी थी, जो कि इस प्लेन को पहले भी दिखाई दी थी शुरुआत के क्षणों में, वो फिर से इनको दिखाई देने लग जाती है कैप्टन एरिक मूडी को।
Now, as soon as we got to 15,000 feet, this St Elmo's fire started again. Now, I'm not slow, so I said, let's get out of here quickly.
But before he can descend very far, the plane is stricken again.
Engine 2 is surging.
The whole aeroplane was shaking. It was just going bang, bang, bang.
The atmosphere in the cabin was very tense and very quiet. By then, I think very few people were talking. I think there were quite a lot of prayers going up.
जो इंजन्स हैं वो फिर से बैकफायर करने लगते हैं और अब कैप्टन मूडी को एक और डिसीजन लेने है।
Begin shutdown drill.
Checklist powering gear. Off. Thrust lever.
Closed.
We were reluctant to do it, as you can probably understand, but, you know, that was it. So we were back on 3 engines.
Now, I'm not a coward, but when you've had 4 engines going, no engines going, you get 4 going and tell me, show me any pilot that will quickly shut down that engine, because you're worried that they're all going to stop again.
Jakarta, Speedbird 9, leaving 154-120. We are now on 3 engines.
और जब प्लेन उस एयरपोर्ट के नजदीक पहुंच रहा है तो फर्स्ट ऑफिसर ग्रीव्स को ऐसा लगता है कि उनकी विंडशील्ड पे कुछ मॉइस्चर आ गया है, जिसकी वजह से वो पार देख नहीं पा रहे हैं।
And I said to Eric, yeah, it's a bit misty out there. So we turned the blowers on to kind of, like demisters on your car to try and clear that. That didn't work. I used the windscreen wipers, and that didn't work.
Somehow the glass itself has been badly damaged.
For some unknown reason, I looked out the edge of my windscreen, and about a 2-inch strip down the edge on the left-hand side, I could see much more clearly. But I couldn't see anything much out the front. It was getting more and more opaque the nearer and nearer we got to the lights.
The crew get a final unwelcome surprise. Ground पे जो equipment लगा है, which will help them descend at a proper angle, is not working.
Jakarta ATC, be advised, our glide path is unserviceable.
The localizer, which gives you the left and right of the runway centerline, that was working, but the glide slope, which gives you the actual profile for the descent, was not working.
इतना सब ट्रबल के जिससे वो गुजर चुके हैं, अब जो है एयरपोर्ट पे जो है इस क्रू को अपना प्लेन मैनुअली ही उतारना पड़ेगा.
We then continued with Eric flying the localizer and me calling out the distance and the altitude that he should be at.
300 feet, Captain.
So he was then able to adjust his rate of descent to what I was telling him as far as the glide slope was concerned.
200. 150 feet, Captain. 100. 50 feet. 30 feet.
We're on the runway!
Reverse.
$90 knots, 80 knots.
We're down. Could really go for a cold soda.
And the aeroplane just landed itself. It seemed to anyway. It kissed the earth. It was beautiful.
That's amazing.
Landing safely at an airport in Halim near Jakarta, passengers जो हैं सेलिब्रेट करते हैं इस खुशी के मौके को. किस स्थिति से गुजर के आए हैं ये तो वो खुद ही बताएंगे. वो ये भी जानना कि अब उत्सुकता थी उनमें कि क्या हुआ था एक्चुअली में. प्लेन में कहीं भी आग नहीं निकली थी, लगी थी, लेकिन फिर भी केबिन में इतना धुआं क्यों था, और चारों के चारों इंजन ने एक ही साथ पे काम कर देना बंद कैसे कर दिया था. और जो वो लाइटें थी, जो रोशनी थी, एकदम स्ट्रेंज रोशनी थी, वो क्या थी जिसने कि प्लेन को चारों तरफ से घेर रखा था. The flight crew have a sigh of relief, but they are also confronted with the fact that they might be responsible for all this ordeal.
The first thing that we did, having parked the airplane and shut it all down, was to then go through all the paperwork to see if there was possibly anything anywhere in it that might have given us any pre-warning of some sort of phenomenon that caused what happened to us.
Every time, because it's going to come back to us.
The damage to the 747 is extensive. बाहर की तरफ से क्रू देख पा रहे थे कि उनकी जो विंडशील्ड थी वो बुरी तरह स्क्रैच की गई थी किसी वजह से, और यहाँ कदा उनको बेयर मेटल भी दिख रहा था जहाँ जिस जगह से पेंट हैज बीन सडनली स्क्रैप्ड अवे. और अभी तक उनके पास कोई आइडिया नहीं था कि ये सब क्यों और क्यों हुआ था. और जब इन्वेस्टिगेटर्स को फाइनली लगा था कि किस कारणवश ये सब हुआ था, उसके बाद फ्लाइट 9 ने जो है पायलट ट्रेनिंग जो सिस्टम था उसी को दुनिया भर में चेंज कर दिया था। एक नॉर्मल शांत फ्लाइट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया, उस पे जो था क्या हुआ था दोस्तों, ब्रिटिश एयरवेज की फ्लाइट BA9 में चारों के चारों इंजन्स ने ही एक ही साथ काम कर देना बंद कर दिया था। एंड आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग एंड टेरिफाइंग डिसेंट, क्रू जो है उन्होंने अपने इंजन फिर से स्टार्ट कर लिए थे किसी तरह से, एंड दे आर एबल टू लैंड देयर क्राफ्ट ऑन द एयरपोर्ट।
That's amazing.
उन्होंने जकार्ता में अपनी रात बिताई, जो कि वो सो भी नहीं पाए थे ढंग से, और उसके बाद वो फिर हलीम एयरपोर्ट पे आए to look at their aircraft.
And we went back the next day to look at it in daylight. The aeroplane had lost its sheen, and in some places it had been sandblasted quite well, and all the decals and the paint had come off. It was very little to see until they stripped the engines down.
इस प्लेन के जो इंजन थे वो रोल्स रॉयस ने बनाए थे, और उन्होंने जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन की उस टीम के इंचार्ज थे फॉर्मर इंजीनियर मैल्कम ग्रेबर्न।
3 of the engines were removed in Jakarta following the incident and were ferried back via cargo aircraft to London Heathrow and then transported to South Wales, where the engines were in fact stripped down into piece parts, and it was there that I got involved.
Malcolm Grayburn was stunned at what he saw.
We did do a forensic analysis of the engines, and we did record it all in terms of photographic analysis, and also we did a lot of laboratory analysis.
Much of the engine was badly scratched and scorched. Malcolm ने ये भी देखा that the engine was choked with fine dust, pieces of rock and sand. और जब इसको closely study किया गया तो पता लगा that debris was volcanic ash. कई दिन के बाद इन पैसेंजर्स और क्रू को ये बात पता लगी कि जिस रात वो सफर कर रहे थे उस रात जो था एक वोल्केनिक इरप्शन हुआ था, एक पर्वत में वोल्केनिक इरप्शन हुआ था, और वो पर्वत जो था 160 किलोमीटर दूर था फ्रॉम जकार्ता। टॉम कैसिडवॉल जो कि डायरेक्टर हैं ऑफ यूएस जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे के, और उन्होंने इस वोल्केनिक माउंटेन को स्टडी भी किया है।
Indonesia is the world's most volcanically active country. It has more than 130 historically active volcanoes, meaning volcanoes which have erupted in the last several thousand years. Galunggung erupted explosively early in the 1980s. In April, May, June of 1982, the eruptions became increasingly more powerful.
The eruptions were large and the damage very extensive. इस पहाड़ के आसपास के इलाकों से तकरीबन 60,000 लोगों को इवैक्यूएट किया गया था, और जिस रात फ्लाइट 9 इसके पास से गुजरी थी एक और एरप्शन हुआ था इस पहाड़ से, और ये ऐश क्लाउड जो था तकरीबन 15,000 मीटर की ऊंचाई तक गया था आसमान में, और वहां पे हवाओं ने इसको साउथ वेस्ट की तरफ धकेल दिया था, राइट इनटू द पाथ ऑफ द ब्रिटिश एयरवेज फ्लाइट BA9। और उस रात से पहले ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हुआ था कि किसी वोल्केनो की वजह से कोई प्लेन पे प्रभाव पड़ा हो। क्या ये ऐश ने वाकई में ही इस फ्लाइट को क्रिपल कर दिया था?
Roger, declare emergency.
Mayday, 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 Speedbird 9. We have lost all 4 engines.
Unlike ash that you might see in a chimney or after a fire in a forest, this is not soft material at all. This is very fine, ground-up particles of solid rock and minerals. This material is very, very abrasive. It's very angular in shape. If you were to see it under a microscope, you would see very sharp angles. And so that's what caused the abrasion.
In addition to the sand blasting of the windshield and all the leading edges of the plane. और क्या ये ऐश क्लाउड जो है उन स्ट्रेंज फिनोमिना को भी आंसर प्रदान कर सकता था क्योंकि पैसेंजर और क्रू ने देखी थी इस जहाज के ऊपर.
Remember, the aircraft is moving in close to 500 miles per hour as it's flying into that cloud. Even though it's a very fine material, it can still cause abrasion and friction on the skin of the aircraft. Because it's such a dry environment up there, that frictional electrification produces the glow that we refer to as St. Elmo's fire.
The electrification also caused the interference in communication जो कि उस क्रू ने देखा था. Some of the volcanic ash जो कि इस इंजन ने सक इन कर दी थी और उसको एकदम माहीन बना दिया था, ग्राउंडेड कर दिया था. और वो जब स्मोक बन के केबिन के अंदर की तरफ लोगों को दिखाई देने लगी तो लोगों ने जो था they thought for the worst.
You're a passenger, you're looking out the window, suddenly you start breathing this sulfur-laden air in the cabin, and it probably is a choking, probably a shocking sensation. It's essentially a house of horrors type situation.
ये जो वोल्केनिक ऐश थी उसने क्या क्या काम किए. एक तो जो स्कारिंग दिख रही थी प्लेन के ऊपर उसकी वजह से हुई. स्मोक जो आज दिखाई दे रही थी केबिन के अंदर वो उसकी वजह से हुआ. और जो कम्युनिकेशन में इंटरफेरेंस आ रहा था फ्लाइट पायलट्स को वो भी वोल्केनिक ऐश की वजह से ही हुआ. लेकिन क्या ये वोल्केनिक ऐश ऐसा भी कर सकती थी कि जिससे कि सारे के सारे इंजन एक ही साथ फ्लेम आउट हो गए हों. A turbo fan jet engine जब वो काम करता है it sucks a fair amount of air. उसके बाद ये हवा को जो है it is highly pressurized by the engine's compressor. This highly packed air which is mixed with fuel and then it is ignited. And the force of this reaction propels the jet through the sky.
The temperature in the combustion chamber where this ash is flowing through are around 2000 degrees centigrade. And so the volcanic ash we know melts at about 1400 degrees.
और जब ये लिक्विड ऐश इंजन के भीतरी भागों में पहुंची तो वो थोड़ी ठंडी हुई and it became a sticky molten goon जिसने कि अपने आप को इंजन के साथ अटैच कर लिया and it started choking these engines.
We got a fundamental disturbance of the airflow in the main core of the engine which caused the engine to backfire and the engines flamed out, and that was the cause of the problem.
Backfires occur when the engine is not running cleanly. बहुत ज्यादा फ्यूल है और ऑक्सीजन की मात्रा काफी कम है उसकी अपेक्षा में. जो पैसेंजर ने इन जहाज के इंजन में आग लगी देखी थी उसका कॉज जो था वो बैकफायर ही थे.
Engine failure, number 4.
Fire action, number 4.
Checklist, power and gear.
After struggling against the choking effects of the ash cloud, the engines on that BA flight simply flamed out. ग्रे बर्न ने उसके बाद पता लगाया कि a remarkable piece of chemistry saved the plane and its passengers.
And the engines were not running, remember, so everything cooled down. It was enough for this stuff to break off and allow the engines to restart.
When enough of the molten ash was gone, Freeman's effort of restarting the engines paid out.
Engine 4, back online.
We have learned quite a bit, and we've incorporated this learning into pilot training. Pilots now, for example, know what signs to look for when they might be in an ash cloud, and those signs include the odor of sulfur in the cabin, dust accumulating in the cabin, and if you're at night, you might look out and see the frictional electrification or the St. Elmo's fire on the leading edges of the aircraft.
एक और लेसन जो इस इंसिडेंट से सबने सीखा वो ये कि जो वोल्केनिक ऐश क्लाउड होते हैं वो रेडार पे दिखाई नहीं देते और इस वजह से बहुत ही अच्छा समन्वय पैदा हो गया है between the geologists who study the volcanoes and the different airline companies which fly over them.
I thought the airmanship displayed by this crew during this event was absolutely fantastic. The way that they managed to guide this aircraft back down to a safe landing after having been through such extreme circumstances, it was fantastic the way they recovered this aircraft. Absolutely brilliant.
The crew of the British Airways flight BA9 को काफी जो थे अवार्ड्स और रिकमेंडेशन मिली थी इस इंसिडेंट के कितने ही महीने बाद तक। जितने भी पैसेंजर इस प्लेन पे सवार थे उनके लिए ये एक्सपीरियंस बहुत ही हॉरिफाइंग था एंड इट लेफ्ट एन एवरलास्टिंग मार्क ऑन देयर मेमोरी। बेटी जिन्होंने जो कि उस रात बहुत ही स्टन्ड रह गई थी कि क्या हुआ था आखिरकार इस रात, उन्होंने तो इस किताब ही लिख दी है इसके बारे में।
This was an event which was unique in aviation history, and it seemed to me absolutely vital that it should be put on record, and I wondered who was going to do this. But no sooner had that thought entered my mind than I thought, I'm going to do that.
बेटी टूडेल ने तो एक आदमी से भी शादी करी थी इस इंसिडेंट के बाद, जो कि उनको इसी फ्लाइट पे मिला था, जेम्स फर्गसन। चार्ल्स केपवेल और उनके दोनों बेटे भी घर पहुंच गए थे और उनको 2 दिन लगे थे पहुंचने में। जकार्ता में जब टच डाउन किया था उसके बाद 2 दिन के अंदर अंदर वो लोग भी अपने घर पर्थ ऑस्ट्रेलिया पहुंच गए थे।
Our time hadn't came and that was it. From then on I took a different view of life. When your time comes there's nothing you can do, but you can still hope, and we hoped and we got out of it.
और इतने सालों के बाद भी दोनों भाई चैज और स्टीवन अभी भी पर्थ में रहते हैं। इस इंसिडेंट के बाद कैप्टन एरिक मूडी ने एक ग्लाइडिंग स्कूल खोला था और जितने भी पैसेंजर्स और क्रू इस फ्लाइट पे सवार थे, they were automatically admitted as members. The survivors of the British Airways flight BA9 still remain in touch with each other after all these years. नमस्कार दोस्तों, इसी के साथ खत्म होता है हमारा आज का एपिसोड आपके फेवरेट शो दुर्घटनाएं डिजास्टर्स का। ये शो जो आप सुन रहे थे अपने फेवरेट इंटरनेट रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो उड़ान पे, जो कि है अ फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ। और आज के शो में हमने चर्चा करी थी 1982 की एक घटना, फॉलिंग फ्रॉम द स्काई ब्रिटिश एयरवेज फ्लाइट BA9 की। अगर आपको मेरे शो के रिगार्ड्स कोई फीडबैक देना हो तो आप मुझे मेल सेंड कर सकते हैं। मेरी मेल आईडी है bhamri.r@gmail.com, यानी कि bhambri.r@gmail.com। आप मेरे YouTube चैनल राजीव भामरी को भी सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं और वहां पे आपको काफी सारे से रेडियो उड़ान के शोज मिल जाएंगे। तो दीजिए इजाजत मुझे, यानी कि आपके दोस्त आपके होस्ट भामरी को समेटने की। आज का शो मिलूंगा मैं आपसे अगले हफ्ते ठीक इसी दिन, ठीक इसी समय और ठीक इसी इंटरनेट रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो उड़ान पे, और करेंगे चर्चा उस शो में हम किसी और नई दुर्घटना की, डिजास्टर की। तो नमस्कार, शुभ रात्रि, शब्बा खैर, गुड नाइट, गॉड ब्लेस।